The two sisters were reborn on the day of their engagement. The younger one rushed to marry the notorious thug, leaving the wealthy heir to her older sister, just because in her previous life she married into wealth, only to suffer endless abuse from the rich young master. Not long after their wedding, the rich man died suddenly, his powerful family crumbled overnight, and she ended up homeless and miserable, while the thug she used to look down on became filthy rich within a few years of marrying her sister. He turned into the new local tycoon, and her sister became the envy of all as a rich man's wife. The younger sister was filled with resentment. On the day of their father's funeral, she went mad and charged at her sister with scissors. They got into a violent fight and ended up dying together. But their story didn't end there. The two enemies were both reborn again. When the older sister opened her eyes, she realized she was back on the day of the engagement and saw her younger sister swearing to marry no one but the thug. Only then did she realize her sister had also been reborn, but the younger one didn't know. The thug's rise had nothing to do with him. In their past life, he lost everything, and even used the older sister as collateral to pay his debts. He only rose again because she built an empire on her own. Just as she planned to take revenge at their father's funeral, she was tricked and betrayed by her sister. So this time the first thing she did was kick her smug sister to the ground. Then she walked away confidently, not forgetting to mock her on the way out, saying she only deserved to pick up someone else's trash. But as soon as she stepped outside, the rich heir arrived with his father to propose marriage. She saw that he looked dignified and upright, nothing like the cruel man from the rumors. But then she noticed the symbol on his bag was identical to the one on her mother's uniform from the pharmaceutical company. Her heart skipped a beat, and she decided to change her plan. When the rich heir's father heard the younger sister refused the proposal, he asked if the older daughter was engaged, since the engagement was arranged by their ancestors, but had never named a specific daughter. The father saw the younger one refuse to marry, and the older one had just disappeared, so he was about to reject the offer. But before he could speak, the older daughter suddenly returned and accepted the proposal on the spot, because she suspected the rich family's pharma company was connected to her mother's death. So she decided to marry into their house to investigate. On their wedding night, she accidentally discovered the heir had been poisoned and wouldn't survive more than a month without help. So she threw an agreement on the table, saying she had the cure, but he had to help her accomplish 3 things in return. From then on they'd be a perfect couple in public, but in private their marriage was just a contract. They wouldn't interfere with each other. The heir had only 1 month to live, so he had no choice but to agree. Meanwhile, the younger sister thought marrying the thug would give her a better life, but right after the wedding he beat her 3 times a day. Still, she naively believed, as long as she endured the hard days, she'd eventually become a wealthy wife admired by all. Soon came the day both families were to dine together. The younger one arrived early with her husband and parents, because in her past life she had been tortured by the rich heir. Now she was eager to see her sister suffer instead. She rushed to her sister's room to catch a glimpse, and what she saw was exactly what she had imagined.